Drawbars, hold your ground. Ruby and the drawbars, pull them out and let it roar. One machine doing the work of 12. Drawbars give us more. It took 4 of us to get it up the stairs. It will take 4 of us to get it down. In between there is about 3 hours when none of that matters at all. Ruby and the drawbars, biggest sound for a mile around. 9 sliders and a spinning speaker. Drawbars, hold your ground. Ruby and the drawbars, pull them out and let it roar. One machine doing the work of 12. Drawbars give us more. Everybody else brought a guitar. We brought a piece of furniture with a motor. Ruby and the drawbars, switch it too fast. Nobody built this to be beautiful. They built it to be affordable. An engineer looked at what a pipe organ cost and thought there has to be another way. Built to be the cheap one. That is the entire design brief. Not better, not new, just possible. The cheap one, beyond belief, built to be the cheap one. Sold to people who could not afford the real one. Ended up in every bar in America. The cheap one, now the main one. There is nothing shameful in that at all. Most good things start as somebody's compromise. Nobody sits down to invent a classic. They sit down to solve a money problem. Built to be the cheap one. That is the entire design brief. Not better, not new, just possible. The cheap one, beyond belief, built to be the cheap one. Sold to people who could not afford the real one. Ended up in every bar in America. The cheap one, now the main one. It was not built to be great. It was built to be possible. Built to be that cheap one. Look at it now. Woo! Now everybody. Now everybody. Small building, small congregation. Roof needs doing and the boiler is going. Somebody prices up a pipe organ and everybody in the room goes quiet. A church that could not afford a pipe organ. That is who this was made for. Not a star, not a studio, not a stage. Could not afford, that is what it is for. A church that could not afford a pipe organ. One box and a speaker on a stand. Half the price and it fits through the door. Could not afford, understand. So it went in at the back by the radiator. And a girl of about 14 learned it. And 30 years later she is on a record. And nobody can work out where she got that from. A church that could not afford a pipe organ. That is who this was made for. Not a star, not a studio, not a stage. Could not afford, that is what it is for. A church that could not afford a pipe organ. One box and a speaker on a stand. Half the price and it fits through the door. Could not afford, understand. That is all there is. No knobs, no presets, no settings. 9 little bars you pull towards you. Each one is a different harmonic, and you mix them like a person mixing paint. 9 sliders, and that is the whole palette. Every sound this thing can make. Pull one out, push one in. Whole palette for its own sake. 9 sliders, and that is the whole palette. Nobody needs a manual for this. Move them while you play, and it changes. Whole palette, nothing to miss. Best part is you can move them mid-song. It is not a setting, it is an instrument. Every player has 3 they always use, and everybody can tell whose hands those are. 9 sliders, and that is the whole palette. Every sound this thing can make. Pull one out, push one in. Whole palette for its own sake. 9 sliders, and that is the whole palette. Nobody needs a manual for this. Move them while you play, and it changes. Whole palette, nothing to miss. 9 of them, that is the entire 9 sliders, and that is the whole palette. Pull them out! Open the back of the cabinet and look, there is a horn on a spindle in there, and it is going around like a fairground ride about 6 times every second. The speaker spins. That is the whole famous sound. Not a circuit, not a chip, not a pedal. It spins round and round. The speaker spins. Wooden box with a motor inside. Everything anybody ever loved about this, it spins along for the ride. People spend fortunes trying to fake it, and something is always slightly wrong. You cannot model a thing moving through air, because the room is part of the effect. The speaker spins. That is the whole famous sound. Not a circuit, not a chip, not a pedal. It spins round and round. The speaker spins. Wooden box with a motor inside. Everything anybody ever loved about this, it spins along for the ride. The effect is not in a box. The effect is the box moving. The speaker spins. Put your hand on it. The same instrument, the same model, the same everything. Sitting at the back of a church on a Sunday morning, and behind a bar on a Saturday night. And it does not know the difference, and it does not care. Play it in the clubs, learned every single thing they know on the other one. the other one is not, and they are welcome to think it. I have heard both. I know what I heard. It was the same person, and they meant it both times. Sunday morning to Saturday night, same box, same hands, same sound. Nobody ever tells you they are the same song. Sunday morning to Saturday night. An instrument does not know what day it is. Sunday morning to Saturday night. Same hands. Three of us, cheaper than 16. Club owner does the sum on a Friday. 16 player, 16 envelopes. Three of us, one van, one cabinet, and the floor is just as full. Cheaper than a big band. That is why we are standing here. Nobody hired us because we are better. Big band, loud and clear. Cheaper than a big band. Same noise for a fifth of the money. Whole industry turned on that one some. Big band funny, isn't it, honey? I am not offended by that at all. Every good thing in this music happened because somebody was trying to spend less and accidentally changed what music is. Cheaper than a big band. That is why we are standing here. Nobody hired us because we are better. Big band, loud and clear. Cheaper than a big band. Same noise for a fifth of the money. Whole industry turned on that one some. Big band funny, isn't it, honey? Nobody chose this sound. Somebody chose the cheaper invoice. Cheaper than a big band and louder. Hey, organ, drums, and whoever is singing, that is the whole band, that is the whole payroll. Somebody always asks where the bass is, and I have to point at the bottom of the keyboard. Three of us and no bass player. Never had one, never needed one. Bottom end is coming out of this box. No bass player. See it done. Three of us, no bass player. Left hand in the pedals, do the light one less. Envelope on a Friday, no bass player. That is what we have got. It is the hardest job on the stand. Bass and chords and melody at once. Nobody claps for the bottom half, and the bottom half is the entire floor. Three of us and no bass player. Never had one, never needed one. Bottom end is coming out of this box. No bass player, see it done. Three of us and no bass player. Same hand that walked the boogie on a piano. Same 8 beats, same job, same everything. Different machine 20 years later, and nobody had to teach it anything. The left hand went to work again, moved house and kept the same job. Piano yesterday, this thing tonight. Went to work, never a sob. The left hand went to work again, bottom half of everything you like. 50 years and it has not sat down. Went to work, never a strike. There is a straight line you can draw from a barrel house to this stool. It is not a coincidence, it is one hand carrying the same idea into a new box. The left hand went to work again, moved house and kept the same job. Piano yesterday, this thing tonight. Went to work, never a sob. The left hand went to work again, bottom half of everything you like. 50 years and it has not sat down. Went to work, never a strike. The machine changed, the hand did not. Oh, the left hand went to work again, same as it ever was. He was not trying to invent anything. He was trying to make an imitation convincing. Late 30s, a man with a workshop and an instrument that did not sound right to him. Wanted it to move the way a pipe organ moves in a big stone building with a ceiling. He wanted it to sound like the real thing. That is all he was ever after. Tried 100 ways to fake a room. The real thing, hear the laughter. He wanted it to sound like the real thing. Put the speaker on a spindle and spun it. Never got what he was aiming at. The real thing, and he won it. Because what he built does not sound like a pipe organ. It sounds like nothing that existed before. He was aiming at an imitation, and he hit something entirely new. He wanted it to sound like the real thing. That is all he was ever after. Tried 100 ways to fake a room. The real thing, hear the laughter. He wanted it to sound like the real thing. Put the speaker on a spindle and spun it. Never got what he was aiming at. The real thing, and he won it. He was trying to copy something. He invented something instead. He wanted it to sound like the real thing. He missed. overdrive, the feedback, the wobble, not one of those was the plan. It made a sound nobody had. That is how it usually happens. Nobody sets out to find this stuff. Nobody had mind the gap, kids. It made a sound nobody had. Copy something and miss it by a mile. End up with the thing they name after you. Nobody had worth the while. Nobody invents a sound on purpose. They miss and they keep it. And made a sound nobody had by accident. Shouting, bottom one set up completely different. Left hand living down there all night, and the two of them never agree. Two keyboards, one person, two different instruments at once. Different sliders on each of them. One person, do it just this once. Two keyboards, one person, jump between them mid-phrase. Sounds like a band arguing with itself. One person set it ablaze. This is why it takes so long to learn. It is not one instrument, it is two, plus a set of pedals and a switch, and a speaker that is doing its own thing. Two keyboards, one person, two different instruments at once. Different sliders on each of them. One person, do it just this once. Hey! Two keyboards, one person, jump between them mid-phrase. Sounds like a band arguing with itself. One person set it ablaze. It is not one instrument, it is a band you have to play alone. Two keyboards, one person, both at once. Upstairs function room, nobody in it until Thursday. Stacked chairs, a folding table, a box of paper hats from somebody's leaving due about a year ago. And the cabinet under a dust sheet in the corner. It is not going anywhere, it never goes anywhere. Too heavy to move, too awkward to sell. So it just lives up there being nobody's, warming up for 20 seconds. Every time somebody wants it. The room above the bar, that is where it waits. Nobody thinks about it until Thursday. The room above the bar. There is one in every town, in a room like that, under a sheet, slightly out of tune with itself, holding the whole sound of a decade inside a wooden box that nobody has looked at properly in years. The room above the bar, that is where it waits. Nobody thinks about it until Thursday. The room above the bar. Half the great instruments in the world are upstairs somewhere under a sheet. The room above the bar. Pull the sheet off. The cheap substitute became the real thing. Oh! Built to be the one you bought when you could not afford the proper one. Sold to churches with no money as the next best thing to a pipe organ. The cheap substitute became the real thing. Nobody planned a single bit of it, meant to imitate, and it invented a real thing. That was it. That cheap substitute became the real thing. Twice over if you are counting. Budget pipe organ, budget big band, a real thing. Keep it mounting. Then the clubs worked out the same. Some 3 of us cost less than 16. So they hired the cheap version of a big band, and the cheap version took over. That cheap substitute became the real thing. Nobody planned a single bit of it, meant to imitate, and it invented a real thing. That was it. Cheap substitute became the real thing. Twice over if you are counting. Budget pipe organ, budget big band, real thing. Keep it mounting. Nobody set out to make this, they set out to make it cheaper. The cheap substitute became the real thing every time. Organist could not stand it when it turned up. Said it was thin, said it was a toy. Said no serious room would put one in, and a lot of serious rooms did anyway. Nobody wanted the imitation, everybody said it straight away. Not a real organ, not a real instrument, the imitation here to stay. Nobody wanted the imitation. 20 years and they all went quiet. Now it is the one they all want back. The imitation, try it. That happens to every single one of these. The cheap thing arrives and the experts sniff, and the people who could not afford the other one go and make something nobody expected. Nobody wanted the imitation, everybody said it straight away. Not a real organ, not a real instrument, the imitation here to stay. Nobody wanted the imitation. 20 years and they all went quiet. Now it is the one they all want back. The imitation, try it. Everything they called a toy turned out to be the next thing. Nobody wanted the imitation. Ask them now. Take it, organ! Woo! Take it, organ! Ah! Middle of the tune and I step back and there is nobody to point at but the cabinet. Whole room turns to look at a piece of furniture, and the piece of furniture takes off them shout. There's a thing that happens in the room about 4 bars into one of those where everybody stops talking at the bar, and I have watched it happen 100 times. Take it, organ, 2 words in the ceiling lift. 16 bars and both hands gone. Take it, best of gifts. Take it, organ, speaker on fast and the drawbars out. Nothing else on the stage can follow that. Take it, hear them shout. Being handed the song is the highest thing a band can do to you. Take it, organ, go on. Sound by 6, same 6 rooms every single week. Nobody in this band has a car, and the higher place shuts at 9:30. 6 nights and a rented van, that is the whole career right there. Same road, same door, same stairs, rented van, nothing to spare. 6 nights and a rented van, load out at 1 and do it again. Nobody writes a song about this bit. A rented van, now and then. People think the hard part is the playing. The playing is the part you get for free. The hard part is a doorway 3 inches narrower than the thing you are carrying. 6 nights and a rented van, that is the whole career right there. Same road, same door, same stairs, a rented van, nothing to spare. 6 nights and a rented van, load out at 1 and do it again. Nobody writes a song about this bit. A rented van, now and then. The playing is the easy part. The doorway is the job. 6 nights and a rented van. Measure it first. Fast, slow, fast again. Ow! One switch on the side, 2 positions, that is the entire vocabulary of it, and every player uses it differently, and you can tell who it is in 4 bars. Fast, slow, fast again, that is a solo all on its own. Nothing changes but the speed of a motor. Fast again, hear it groan. Fast, slow, fast again, flip it on the last chord of the verse. Whole room lifts and nobody knows why. Fast again, could be worse. It is a 2-position switch, and people have built whole careers on when to hit it. Hold the chorus on slow and go fast on the shout. That is not a preference, that is an arrangement. Fast, slow, fast again, that is a solo all on its own. Nothing changes but the speed of a motor. Fast again, hear it groan. Fast, slow, fast again, flip it on the last chord of the verse. Whole room lifts and nobody knows why. Fast again, could be worse. 2 positions and a whole career in wet. Fast, slow, fast again, flip it. 20 seconds, wait for it. There is a switch, and then there is another switch, and about 20 seconds in like a single sound. Warm it up before you play it. 20 seconds every single time. Nothing else in the band has to do that. Warm it up, worth the climb. Hey, warm it up before you play it. Stand there and listen to it wind on. Best 20 seconds of the whole night. Warm it up, then we are gone. Everybody in the room knows that noise. Whole place quiets down a bit when it starts. It is the sound of something about to happen, and it happens before anybody plays a note. Warm it up before you play it. 20 seconds every single time. Nothing else in the band has to do that. Warm it up, worth the climb. Warm it up before you play it. Stand there and listen to it wind on. Best 20 seconds of the whole night. Warm it up, then we are gone. Everything else is ready. This one has to wake up. Warm it up before you play it. There it is. Turn everything else off. Listen to what is left. Underneath every note on this record, there is a motor going all the time. And if you get the room quiet enough, you can hear it on the recording. Nobody tries to take it out. Nobody's ever tried to take it out. It isn't every record you love with this sound on it, sitting under the singing like a heater in a wall. The motor you can hear, that is not a fault, that is the instrument. Somebody built the noise into it. The motor you can hear. Every other machine we own tries to be silent. This one is honest about being a machine. It is a wooden cupboard with an engine in it, and it never once pretends otherwise. The motor you can hear, that is not a fault, that is the instrument. Somebody built the noise into it. The motor you can hear. The most human sound in the room is coming out of an engine. The motor you can hear. Leave it in. Slider is out, every harmonic this thing has all at once. It is not subtle and it is not tasteful, and it is the loudest thing in the building. Pull them all the way out. Every drawbar all the way. Nothing held back and nothing saved. All the way. Make them pay. Pull them all the way out. Speaker on fast in the room alight. This is the one they came to hear. Take it right. Save it for the last. electronic. There is a horn going round inside a box. Speaker is not sitting still in there, it is spinning physically on a motor coming towards you, going away about 6 times a second. It is not a tremolo, it is a Doppler. Same reason a siren changes going past. Sound source moving, pitch moving with it. A Doppler built to last. It is not a tremolo, it is a Doppler. Nobody drew that on a circuit board. Somebody put a motor in a cupboard. A Doppler strike the chord. This is why nothing ever copies it right. You can model a circuit, you can sample a note. You cannot sample a thing moving through a room, and neither can anybody else. It is not a tremolo, it is a Doppler. Same reason a siren changes going past. Sound source moving, pitch moving with it. A Doppler built to last. It is not a tremolo, it is a Doppler. Nobody drew that on a circuit board. Somebody put a motor in a cupboard. A Doppler strike the chord. Every other effect is a circuit. This one is a moving object. It is not a tremolo, it is a Doppler. Listen to it turn. Woo! Switch the right thing on. Not a drum, not a hit, just an edge, so the note has somewhere to start. Percussion is a drawbar too. A little click and the note stands up. Nothing to do with a drum at all. A drawbar too, fill the cup. Percussion is a drawbar too. Take it off and it goes to mush. Whole thing lives or dies on that edge. A drawbar too, do not rush. Most people never notice it is there. Everybody notices when it is missing. That is the whole story of arranging in about 1 sentence. Percussion is a drawbar too. Little click and the note stands up. Nothing to do with a drum at all. A drawbar too, fill the cup. Percussion is a drawbar too. Take it off and it goes to mush. Whole thing lives or dies on that edge. A drawbar too, do not rush. Nobody notices it. Everybody notices it. Missing. Percussion is a drawbar too. Switch it on. Switch it on. Left foot on the pedals for the bottom. Right foot on the swell for the volume. Left hand on the lower for the chords. Right hand doing everything else. Both feet, both hands. 4 different jobs at the same time. Nobody sees a single one of them. Both hands, not a crime. Both feet, both hands. Sat down and working harder than the drummer. Everybody thinks I am just sitting there. Both hands, all summer. The drummer has a stool and 2 sticks. The singer has a microphone and a stand. I have got 4 limbs on 4 separate machines, and a switch I have to hit with my knee. Both feet, both hands. 4 different jobs at the same time. Nobody sees a single one of them. Listen to it slow down. That is a motor coasting, not a fade. There is a switch on the side with two positions, fast and slow. That is the entire vocabulary. And in between the two, while the motor is changing its mind, it does the only thing on this record I cannot explain. Hold one chord and flip it. Do not touch anything else. The note does not change. The volume does not change. And it opens up like somebody took a breath in. And every person in the room feels it at the same time. A machine that learned to breathe. That is what somebody built by accident, trying to sound like something else. A machine that learned to breathe. He was not trying to make a new sound. He was trying to make an imitation sound convincing. And he built a wooden box with a motor in it that does the one thing a real pipe organ never could. A machine that learned to breathe. That is what somebody built by accident, trying to sound like something else. A machine that learned to breathe. The imitation could do something the original could not. A machine that learned to breathe. Switch it to slow. I sing a line and it answers me, not a chord underneath an answer. Same phrase, same shape, different mouth, and it always gets the last word. Organ and voice, voice and organ. That is the whole arrangement, that is it. Two of us and one of us is furniture. Voice and organ, every bit. Organ and voice, voice and organ. Church learned this a long time ago. We just took it out of the building. Voice and organ, now you know. There is a reason this feels like a service. The shape is exactly the same shape. Somebody calls and everybody answers, and the machine is one of the voices. Organ and voice, voice and organ. That is the whole arrangement, that is it. Two of us and one of us is furniture. Voice and organ, every bit. Organ and voice, voice and organ. Church learned this a long time ago. We just took it out of the building. Voice and organ, now you know. It is not a accompaniment. It is the other half of the conversation. Organ and voice. Your turn. Your turn. Before anybody heard a note tonight, two people got that up the fire escape in the rain at 4 in the afternoon. furniture behind it. That is not a sad fact, that is the job, and the job deserves a verse. Somebody carry that up 2 flights. Nobody claps for that at all. Whole evening exists because they did 2 flights down the hall. Somebody carry that up 2 flights. Same again at 1 in the morning. Nobody knows their names out there. 2 flights without warning. The music gets the applause. The stairs got done by somebody. Somebody carried that up 2 flights. Thank them. Same hand, same bench, same registration. Different building, different Tuesday. Half the players in every club in this town were in a choir loft the weekend before. Church on Sunday, club on Friday. Same person, same 2 hands. Nobody switches anything at all on Friday. Understand? Church on Sunday, club on Friday. One of those pays and one of those trains. Every good player in this room did both on Friday. That explains. People want those 2 rooms kept apart. They have never been apart, not once. The chords went one way and the money the other, and the same person walked between them. Church on Sunday, club on Friday. Same person, same 2 hands. Nobody switches anything at all on Friday. Understand? Church on Sunday, club on Friday. One of those pays and one of those trains. Every good player in this room did both on Friday. That explains. One room taught them, the other room paid them. Church on Sunday, club on Friday. Same hands. Everything out! Speaker fast! Last one of the night, and there's nothing left to save. Every slider out, every stop pulled. Motor flat out and the horn going around, and the whole room can feel the floor. Everything out! Speaker fast! No setting left above this one. One machine against the entire building. Speaker fast! Second to none. Everything out! Speaker fast! Drums flat out and the horns on top. Biggest noise this band can make. Everything out! Do not stop. This is the fastest one we do, and it is the one where I stop singing early, because there is nothing left to say that the machine is not already saying. Everything out! Speaker fast! No setting left above this one. One machine against the entire building. Speaker fast! Second to none. Everything out! Speaker fast! Drums flat out and the horns on top. Biggest noise this band can make. Everything out! Do not stop. There is nothing above this. That is why it is last. Everything out! Speaker fast! Good night. Hey! flashy, running about is up there, and none of the actual work is. Show the kid the bottom manual, that is where the whole thing sits. Nobody ever points at the lower one. Bottom manual, that is it. Show the kid the bottom manual, bass and chords and never rest. Learn that and you will always work. Bottom manual, second to best. Anybody can learn the top in a year. The bottom takes about 5, and nobody watching will ever notice, which is exactly why it pays. Show the kid the bottom manual, that is where the whole thing sits. Nobody ever points at the lower one. Bottom manual, that is it. Hey! Show the kid the bottom manual, bass and chords and never rest. Learn that and you will always work. Bottom manual, second to best. Everybody watches the top hand, teach them the other one. Show the kid the bottom manual. Sit down here. That is us. Switch it off, let it coast, wait for it. Hit the switch and it does not stop. It winds down for about 10 seconds. Horn still turning slower and slower, and the whole room waits for it. Switch it off, let it coast. Best 10 seconds after the last song. Nobody talks until it stops. Let it coast all night long. Switch it off, let it coast. Cover on, latch it, leave it there, same as it was before we came. Let it coast, nothing to spare. Everything else you can just put down. This one has to be allowed to finish. It is the only instrument I have played that says goodnight on its own. Switch it off, let it coast. Best 10 seconds after the last song. Nobody talks until it stops. Let it coast all night long. Switch it off, let it coast. Cover on, latch it, leave it there, same as it was before we came. Let it coast, nothing to spare. Everything else stops. This one winds down. Switch it off, let it coast, wait for it. Still going. 70 years on the same motor. Everything it was supposed to be replaced by has been and gone about 4 times over. Every machine that was going to make it obsolete is in a museum or somebody's loft, or nowhere at all. And this thing, which was the budget option, which nobody in a serious room wanted, which was only ever meant to stand in for something more expensive, is still the one everybody asks for. The cheap one is still here. It outlived everything that looked down on it. Nobody expected that, and neither did it. The cheap one is still here. because it was affordable, and it has been the biggest thing in my head ever since. The cheap one is still here. It outlived everything that looked down on it. Nobody expected that, and neither did it. The cheap one is still here. Nothing built to impress anybody lasts as long as something built to be affordable. The cheap one is still here. Switch it off, let it coast.